Excellent. Good morning, everyone. It's like 9 o'clock exactly, and happy Easter to all of you. And I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful weekend with family, fun, and frolic, whatever. And you're just recovering today so that tomorrow you can hit the ground running for work. My work is right now. So let's begin our routine. We'll do our heart focused breathing, the basic of all steps in the heart mat techniques. So let us begin then. Place awareness in the area of your heart and begin to take slow, deep breaths and visualize these flowing in and out of your heart. Deep breaths in and out. Just notice how your body is feeling as you take in these slow, gentle breaths. And in many cases, if not most cases, your mind will automatically quieten down as you take these slow, deep breaths. It may not go blank, thankfully, but it'll also begin to become more coherent, become more aware of your body. And as you take these slow, deep, gentle breaths and visualize these breaths flowing in and out of your heart, experience the slowing down of the entire body mechanism when you do that. Gently. Beautiful. Sometimes we lose awareness of our heart area and we begin the normal breathing process. The important part about this is to visualize these breaths flowing in and out of our hearts so that we can keep our hearts engaged. Now, if you're one of those that eventually, once in a while, forgets to breathe while we're visualizing through your heart, just place your hand on your heart area. It'll remind you to draw the breaths there. It's an easy way to draw your attention to the heart by placing your hand there. Wonderful. Slow, deep breaths. And visualize these flowing in and out of your heart, your chest area. Excellent. Thank you so much for spending the first 5 minutes with me being more coherent. And now let's talk about the I didn't know that moment. Now I see a lot of people have chimed in. Zara, good morning to you too. Thank you for joining us as well. So wonderful for all of you coming in. Today's topic is the art of bouncing back. And so let us begin this topic, this next 5 minutes. Let's explore this a bit more. There are 3 steps to actually bouncing back. The first step is to actually hit a brick wall. Now, if you guys are able to type into the chat box, how many of you feel you've hit a brick wall in your life in the past? And do you know what I mean by hitting a brick wall? I mean, you came to a situation in your life when you thought, oh my God, it's all falling apart and I have to do something different. Yes, all the Serena, all the time. Well, you are a student, so I remember those days. I was hitting a brick wall all the time. Well, did you know that that is the most important step in actually transforming yourself to whatever you want? And Natalie, again and again, once in a while. Yes, it is, absolutely. It's one of the most important steps, and people forget that. A lot of times we'll see a brick wall coming, but we won't heed. We won't trust our instincts. We'll just hit it and then say, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, kind of thing. But remember that hitting a brick wall is step one. So if you don't hit a brick wall, there is no impetus to change. There is no trigger for you to say, I want something different. It's the universe's way of gently tapping you on the shoulder. So the universe will tap you on the shoulder gently. Second time, it's going to slap you in the face. Third time, it's going to give you a wall to hit so that you don't hurt yourself even beyond that. So if we accept the fact that when we hit a brick wall, it's a blessing and a sign to say, you're ready for change. All right? So that's step one. What's step two? The step two is, again, very important, is choose your emotion. And I underline the word choose for yourselves here, because it is an emotion that you choose. If you are reacting to a brick wall and then after a while you calm down, you're not choosing your emotion, you're reacting to it. So the second step is to actually choose your emotion. Are you going to get angry? Are you going to get that calm feeling right there? Because those are the emotions you're going to choose, because you've already hit the brick wall. The fact is there. The emotions are your control. So I have a friend. She's actually a Hay House author. She lives not too far from where I live. And she tells me this story every time. And she says this is how she does it. She phones a friend when she's angry. And she tells a friend, put the kettle on. And the friend says to her, do you want me to put the kettle on when you get here? Or do you want me to put the kettle on as you're making your way here? And that's code word. And I'll tell you what the code word is there. If Suze tells her friend, I want you to put the kettle on when I get there, it's because Suze is angry and she wants to vent. And what she wants to do is when she gets there, the friend puts a kettle on, and when the kettle whistle blows, she's done her venting. That's her timer. That's all. She's giving herself a chance to choose her emotion for a brief period of time. If she says to her friend, no, put the kettle on, we'll have tea when I get there, that means she doesn't want to vent at all. She just wants to have a nice cup of tea. So the idea for you is, if you choose your emotion, if you want to be angry in the moment, give yourself a certain time to say, okay, for the next minute and a half, I choose to be angry, and yeah, okay, and I'm okay with that. And so that's approach. If you do your coherence building technique while you're angry, take those deep breaths, visualize these breaths flowing in and out of your heart. You may be able to choose an emotion, reduce the amount of time you spend in the anger or frustration mode. And we all know from the scientific principles of reducing that anger, it actually impacts your body adversely. And when you choose an emotion that's an easing emotion, or a calming ease emotion, or a happy emotion, you begin to see possibilities that you didn't think while you were angry. So that's basically choosing that emotion. Now the real question is, step 3, is to reflect and adapt. This is the important part. Do you see a pattern? Now, Natalie, you mentioned, yes, again and again, once in a while, and everybody hits a brick wall all the while. But do you see a pattern? Is there a pattern evolving? Is sometimes maybe the pattern is, what are the patterns? Is it that you don't trust your instincts? And do you sense that there were signs along the way that you ignored as you were about to hit the brick wall? Because this reflection and adaptation is actually allowing you to foresee the brick wall and not having to hit it, but to see it coming and trust your instincts. Really, that's the gem in all of this. So the third step is also as important as the first step, is to recognize that the brick wall is there, or you've hit a brick wall. But now you're saying, did I now trust my instincts? Did I see a pattern, or are there signs along the way? Did I trust my instincts? And whatever those answers are, if you trusted your instincts and you still hit a brick wall, that means you need to figure out a way to trust yourself. There are two ways to trust yourself. One is, when you're in fear mode, your reaction moves you in a certain direction, and that's fear-based response. If you're in that heart center mode, you'll 99% of the time move in the right direction. And sometimes the universe wants you to hit the brick wall, because that's only when everlasting change can happen. So, hitting a brick wall actually transforms you. But you don't need to hit a brick wall hard. That's the point, is that you can see it coming. If you trust your instincts, you may be able to avoid hitting the brick wall, recognizing it and saying, okay, you know what, that was a close call, I need to change. So that's the difference between hitting a brick wall and that. And an example that I'll give you, that's an extreme example, is if you're not eating well or not exercising and you have a stroke. That's a brick wall for some people. Whereas if you're in the same situation, not eating well, not exercising, and you feel lousy, that's your body telling you, okay, warning sign 1, and then the doctor comes and tells you, and then you see our commercial, warning signs 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you start eating healthy. You never really hit that brick wall, but you avoided it. And that's the key, is if you trust your instincts, when you take those coherence based techniques, breathe yourself out of the situation, you will be fine. All right? Fantastic. That was my 5-minute sermon for today, and we will go back to the main program, which will do speaking of building coherence techniques. Let us do a quick coherence technique, which is the one more level beyond the heart focused breathing. So let us place our awareness in the area of our hearts. Take slow, deep breaths and visualize these flowing in and out of your heart. Slower and gentler than normal. Place your hand on your heart if you're having a hard time visualizing or keeping awareness around in your heart. Now experience a positive feeling, love, appreciation, peace. Go to a place where you experience this amazing feeling. And remember, if you're thinking about this, you need to bring it down to your heart and experience it. Deep breaths in. Continue to experience a positive feeling. Put a gentle smile on your face if it helps you. I usually tell my daughter when she's feeling anxiety about a test, I ask her to imagine her holding her little pup. She's got a little dog that she loves to bits. Sometimes I think she loves the pup more than her dad. But and so I ask her to visualize her just cuddling with that. With her name is Fifi, and that calms her down. And do you have a pet like that? Do you have a person like that in your life, or an experience like that in your life that allows you to bring that into your heart at this very moment and begin to feel amazing? And that's really the idea behind the quick coherence technique, is to feel that. And anytime you're about to hit a brick wall, or you hit a brick wall, this is the technique to use, so that you can ask yourself, what are the possibilities out of this? Because there always are. Maybe you just don't see them. And that's the end of the 15-minute espresso shot this morning. We do have some time for Q&A, but for those of you who are unable to hang around, I thank you for joining us this Monday. Happy Easter to you. And if you can stick around, I'm happy to take questions. And it could be for anything this week, this topic, or it could be anything further. If you have any issues that you're dealing with that you don't mind sharing with the rest of us, I'm happy to engage you in that. You're welcome, Lane. Hello, Lou and Will. Welcome. David, have a great day yourself, my friend. Thank you. Zara, I get it that your network is too weak. Hopefully you'll catch this in the replay. While some of you are on there, if you're able to do this, I have a little bit of a survey for you to take. And if you look on your screen, if you're on a computer, there's a question. How often did you practice heart math techniques last week? There is a second question. If you scroll down your window. Good, the answers are coming in. I'll share it with you in a second. So it says, do you practice your heart math every day, about 3 to 5 times a week, only during the espresso shot? And the last question is, what's a heart math technique? Perhaps newbies out here. And then how many days of repetitive behavior does it take to form a habit is the second question. It would be lovely to get that answered. Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to close it in the next minute before we move on to the questions. Lane, 4 to 5. Interesting. Wonderful. I believe you said 4 to 5 as in how often do you do heart math practice? Well, that's excellent if that's the answer to that question, the first question, which is great. All right, we're going to end the voting now. And I'll share the results with you right away. Now we see ourselves as most people, 50% of you, do it about three or five times a week. There's perhaps one person who does it every day. How awesome! That's great. And that's the next question is how many days of repetitive behavior does it take to form a habit? I have one person saying 30 days and the rest saying 21 days. According to Dr. Joe Dispenza, it is 21 days that it takes to form a neural pattern in your brain that it becomes normal to you. Lou and Will, yes, of course there will be a replay of today, just in a couple of days as I send this out to you, and you'll have a link to the YouTube video where you'll see the entire thing for you. Okay, you're welcome. Yeah, excellent. So I wanted to go back to our original question. If you have any question, Wendy, yes, glad I got the reminder in time to join today. I missed these. Yes, we've missed you, Wendy. I send a reminder out, every day, or every time we do this. There's a reminder that either goes out Sunday evening or now. Wonderful. So, if you haven't had a chance while you guys are typing in your questions, if you haven't had a chance to check out the 21-day program that I'm starting again on next Tuesday. If you know anybody, I know some of you are already on that, and we're going to have a third session tomorrow, and it's been going really well. It's starting next Tuesday, and the early bird registration ends tomorrow, so you can save $100 if you register by tomorrow. When you close this window, if you're on a computer, you'll see it'll take you directly to that website to check out. All right, so forward that to your friends. Janet, lots of kids here today, so I'll be listening to the replay. Great. Well, do your breathing technique, Janet. When there are lots of kids around, you do need to keep your patience about you. Are there any questions about anything that I can help you with today? Doesn't sound like anybody has any questions today. That's wonderful. All right, so we'll see you next week. I look forward to chatting with you very soon. Aloha from Lou and Will. You're in the Hawaii mode. Looks like that's where you went in the quick coherence technique. Amazing. All right. You take care, people. And bye-bye.